A series of recent developments highlight the ongoing intersection of culture, conservation and community within First Nations spaces across Australia. In Sydney, the Australian National Maritime Museum has acquired a rare 19th century ship's figurehead depicting a First Nations woman, prompting new reflections on colonial maritime history and representation. In the Sugarloaf State Conservation Area near Newcastle, Kamilaroi and Whadjuk man Darren McKenny's discovery of a thriving koala population, later confirmed by researchers, has underscored the value of Indigenous knowledge in environmental sciences. Meanwhile, Kamilaroi artist Mitch Tambo is set to headline the 2025 Men of Bourke Forum, a culturally grounded event supporting men's well-being and identity through storytelling, music and healing. In Western Australia, Indigenous tourism operators are grappling with the looming cancellation of Broome Singapore flights, a move seen as a significant blow to the Kimberley's cultural tourism economy. Together, these stories reveal both strength and vulnerability of First Nations-led initiatives in shaping Australia's cultural and ecological future. More of that later. Kaya, I'm Leanne Djilandi Dolby, and this is the National Indigenous Times Daily News Bulletin for the 12th of June 2025. In a rare 19th century ship's figurehead depicting a First Nations woman has been acquired by the Australian National Maritime Museum, prompting a re-examination of colonial maritime artefacts and their meanings. Supported by the National Cultural Heritage Account and the Museum Foundation, the piece is considered both a striking example of colonial decorative art and a catalyst for deeper dialogue on First Nations and settler relations. Senior curator Dana Fletcher noted the symbolic carvings, Christmas bells, an emu, and possibly a kangaroo reflect colonial aspirations and identity despite the unknown origins of the vessel and the artist. Indigenous Programs Manager Matt Pohl highlighted the tension in the figurehead's dual role. Intended as a protective spirit, yet carved by settler society during the era of First Nations dispossession. The figurehead's depiction of a colonised person as a heroic figure is extremely rare in global maritime collections. The museum continues to research the artefact, emphasising its uniqueness and cultural significance. A significant koala population has been confirmed at Sugarloaf State Conservation Area inland from Newcastle, thanks to the efforts of Kamilaroi and Wurundjeri man Darren McKenny. McKenny first detected koalas in the area during 2019-2020 bushfires using trail cameras and later confirmed their presence through nighttime searches guided by cultural knowledge. Collaborating with the University of Newcastle, researchers used spotlighting and thermal drones to identify over 290 koalas in the area, suggesting a large, thriving population on the edge of an urban development. Conservation scientist Dr. Ryan Witt credited McKenny's expertise as vital to the discovery. The Sugarloaf survey formed part of the broader koala study across New South Wales, which estimated more than 4,000 koalas across 67,300 hectares. Maria National Park recorded the highest density. Notably, areas impacted by the 2019-2020 bushfires showed lower koala numbers, highlighting the importance of such data in tracking threats and informing conservation efforts. Kamilaroi artist and social worker Mitch Tambo will appear at the 2025 Men of Bourke Forum, a two-day event centred on men's identity, wellbeing and healing. Hosted by the Bourke Aboriginal Corporation Health Services, in collaboration with local organisations, the forum will feature keynote speakers, panels, cultural sessions, and discussions on grief, conflict resolution, and identity. Tambo will speak and perform on Tuesday, 17th of June, as a part of his national I Am Me tour, which promotes cultural pride, resilience, and open dialogue. Known for fusing traditional language with contemporary music, he creates safe spaces for men to reflect and connect. Batch's CEO, Jay Forrester, praised Tambo's message of healing and strength, aligning the forum's culturally grounded approach. Now in its second year, the forum builds on the success of 2024's events and continues to support men across the region. Tambo's visit is a part of his larger outreach to schools and youth centres, where he shares personal stories and encourages honest conversations around healing and identity. And finally, Indigenous tourism operators in Western Australia have expressed deep disappointment following Qantas's announcement that Jetstar Asia will cease operations, ending direct flights between Broome and Singapore from July 29th. Rob Taylor, CEO of Whadjuk, which is known as the Western Australian Indigenous Tourism Operators Council, said the cancellation represents a missed opportunity to directly connect European tourists to the Kimberley region via Singapore. He warned that the decision would significantly impact the broader tourism sector and Aboriginal businesses that depend on international visitors for their livelihood. Taylor stressed that Indigenous tourism plays a role in preserving culture and supporting local economies, and noted that years of work to build international market ties are now at risk. He called for urgent exploration of alternative solutions to sustain the industry. Jetstar Asia acknowledges the closure was a difficult decision and acknowledged the inconvenience, offering full refunds to affected customers. And that's today's Daily News Roundup from the National Indigenous Times. For more news, head to nit.com.au and sign up for our free newsletter.